for the Kistler Cup. And those t-shirts are on sale at the Actions Photos booth located in the souvenir bar. Denny Miller brings the Bauman Automotive Group pace truck to the infield. We race him out of turn 4, 8 laps. Top 4 move on. Mitch Harbaugh, Mike Baker going to pace them. Here they come on the gas. Green out, but this one's coming back. So that'll move the row up. Scott Euler now to the outside of your front row. Mitch Harbaugh, Scott Euler. And row number 1, here they come on the gas out of turn 4. Better start, green flag out. Scott Euler leads the charge out of turn number 2. Mitch Harbaugh in second, Lee Jacobs third. Side by side for 4th, Jody Keegan on the bottom. He'll get around Mikey Kemper. Get around Lee Jacobs into the front stretch wall. He saves it, moves back into the 4th and final transfer spot. Out front, Scott Euler, Mitch Harbaugh, Jody Keegan. Here comes Lee Jacobs trying to make up ground out to the outside of Jody Keegan, Mikey Kemper. And the 22 flies to the inside. It's still Scott Euler out front, Mitch Harbaugh second. The battle is for the 3rd spot now. Jody Keegan, Lee Jacobs side by side. Jacobs to the outside will take the 3rd spot. The battle for 5th, Mike Kemper, Byron Reed. Kemper looks to the inside of Jody Keegan out of turn number 4. Can't get it done. Scott Euler pulls away out front. The battle for 2nd now. Mitch Harbaugh, Lee Jacobs, and Jody Keegan. 3-car battle for 2nd. Goes to the outside. He's going to get the 2nd spot down the backstretch. Jody Keegan on the move. Scott Euler out front. Jody Keegan the battle for 3rd now. Mitch Harbaugh and Lee Jacobs with Mike Kemper right on their bumper. Here comes Jody Keegan to the inside. Slide job. And 3 and 4 a new leader, Jody Keegan. The white flag in the air. Jody Keegan pulls away. The battle for 2nd. The 27 of Scott Euler. The 25 of Lee Jacobs. Here they come. Checker flag for Jody Keegan. 2nd going to go to Lee Jacobs. 3rd to the 27. 4th to Mikey Kemper. 5th to the 5R of Byron Reed. 6th, Mitch Harbaugh. 7th to the 9C of Dwayne Zablocki. Kevin Lee and Mike Baker round out the field. Your top 4 making it into the 9C main finish in that 4th spot will be Mikey Kemper. In the 22K, 3rd goes to the 27 of Scott Euler, 2nd to the 25 of Lee Jacobs. And put your hands together for the winner of your Ultra Shield Race Products Heat Race number 1. He started in that 5th place, Jody Keegan. Row 1, Chad Kimenoff, Brandon Martin, row 2, Tim Schaefer, Dean Jacobs, row 3, Mark Keegan, Scott Kerr in row 4, and Andy Shamwell on the tail. 8 laps as the Bauman Automotive Group pace truck hits the infield area.
David Harrison second. Here comes Chad Kimenoff with a run down to the bottom. He's got Brandon Martin right on his rear bumper. Side by side for 2nd. Your top 4 pulling away a little bit. Bill Gressman flies out front. David Harrison. Here comes Brandon Martin now down to the bottom. Martin slides up in front of David Harrison. Crosses over right in front of Chad Kimenoff. Bill Gressman pulls away. Brandon Martin in 2nd, now Chad Kimenoff up to 3rd, the final transfer spot to David Harrison. Here comes Dean Jacobs in the 9. Jacobs tries to get around David Harrison. They touch out of turn 2. That's the battle for the final transfer spot. Dean Jacobs to the inside of David Harrison. Jacobs on the bottom, Harrison up top. Here comes the 83 of Tim Schaefer now on the move. Phil Gressman out front, but now here comes Brandon Martin and Chad Kimenoff moving in. Scott Kern gets a little sideways in turn 2, keeps it going. We continue. out front. There's the white flag. Brandon Martin, Chad Kemenow. The battles for the final. Hang on, Dean Jacobs going to loop it out in turn 4. And that will bring out the caution flag. 7 laps in, it'll be a 1-lap dash to the finish. They'll get the green and white flags together. Single file restart. Phil Gressman keeping the pace low. Now he gets on the gas. Here we go. Tim Schaefer to the inside of David Harrison for the final transfer spot. Harrison says, no way, to the outside. Here we come, checkered flag. Phil Gressman. 5th to the 83 of Tim Schaefer, 6th to the X of Mark Keegan, Andy Shammo, Scott Kern, and Dean Jacobs. So your top 4 making it into the A main, finishing in that 4th spot. And rolling off 14th in tonight's A main will be David Harrison in car number 10. 3rd goes to the 63 of Chad Kemenow, 2nd to Brandon Martin in car 11. And put your hands together for the winner of your Bell Race Products Heat Race number 2 out of Helena in car 9X, Phil Gressman. Metals, FSR Radiator, Real Geese, Buckeye IT Services, High Vista Video, Racers Racing for the Cure, Gressman Power Sports, Napa of Bryan, Ohio, Gertie Engines, Bobby's Truck and Auto Repair, Tiffin Brake and Wheel, Golden Graphics and Goofy Golf, and Ghostly Manor. A big thanks to all the great sponsors for the Fast Championship Series. Here we go, out of turn number 4. Green out. Brooke Tatnell takes the lead down the backstretch. Mike Linder in the 2nd, Chris Andrews 3rd. Here comes the 0. Brandon Wimmer with a power move in turns 3 and 4 into the 4th spot. Brooke Tatnell pulls away from Mike Linder, pulls away from Chris Andrews. Brandon Wimmer in the 4th and final transfer spot. The battle for 5th, the 5T and Travis Philo, the 0-4 of Cap Henry. Brooke Tatnell on a rope out of turn 4, slingshotting around the racetrack, pulling away from Mike Linder. Hang on, Bruce Robinald in turns 1 and 2, yellow out, yellow out. Could use any of the goods or services all these sponsors provide. Or if you just run into any of them, thank them so much for backing the sport we love as the green flag comes back out. And Brooke Tatnell sets sail again. Here comes the 0 of Brandon Wimmer's slide job, and he can't make it stick out of turn 2. Cap Henry gonna get racing. Wimmer to the inside of Chris Andrews. He wants that 3rd position. Here comes Cap Henry battling for 4th. Chris Andrews goes down to the bottom, but he can't make it stick. He slides back to the 4th spot. Has his hands full with the 0-4 of Cap Henry. That's the final transfer spot. Brooke Tatnell flies out front. Mike Linder comfortably in 2nd. Brandon Wimmer 3rd. The battle is for 4th. Chris Andrews and Cap Henry. Then it's Travis Philo, Ben Rutan, Chad Gullett, and Bruce Robinald rounding out the field. He'll see the white flag in the air out of turn 4. Brooke Tatnell out of Susie, New South Wales, Australia. There's the white flag, 1 to go. Oh, Cap Henry. Cap Henry with a flat left rear, it looks like. No, the car still rolls. Something going amiss in the engine compartment, maybe on the 0-4, as he had a transfer spot. Here they go, green and white out. Out of turn number 4, checkered flag in the air for Brooke Tatnell. Mike Linder 2nd, 3rd, to Brandon Wimmer, Chris Andrews 4th, 5th. Travis Philo 6th. The 23 of Ben Rutan, 7th to the 61 of Chad Gullett, and the 98 of Bruce Robinald rounds out the field. So rolling off 15th in tonight's A main will be the 15C of Chris Andrews by virtue of his 4th place finish. 3rd goes to the 0 of Brandon Wimmer, 2nd to the 312 of Mike Linder. And put your hands together, the winner of your Friendship Food Stores Heat Race number 3 out of Sydney, New South Wales, Australia, Brooke Tatnell. by. Caleb Griffith out front. Hannigan slide job in turn 4, takes second. Craig Mintz third. Greg Wilson in the final transfer spot. The battle for fifth. Greg Keel and Matt Linder side by side out of turn 2. Greg Wilson on the move, gets around, hang on, Craig Mintz! Craig Mintz loops it out in turn 4, and that will bring out the caution flag. For the lead down the backstretch. Greg Wilson slides down to the bottom. Out of turn 4, trying to grab the second spot. He crosses over. Caleb Griffith fights back to the inside of Greg Wilson. The battle for the final transfer spot. Matt Linder and Craig Keel. 4 in, 4 to go. Randy Hannigan pulls away. Greg Wilson second comfortably in third. The 12 of Caleb Griffith. Matt Linder in the final transfer spot. Craig Keel. Here comes Craig Mintz trying to get back into the fray. Randy Hannigan flies out front. Greg Wilson, Caleb Griffith pull away from Matt Linder in the final transfer position. Cole Duncan takes a run to the inside of Craig Keel for fifth. The white flag in the air for the Hurricane out of turn 4. Turns 3 and 4, the checkered flag in the air for Randy Hannigan. Greg Wilson will come home second, Caleb Griffith third. The final transfer spot given to Matt Linder. Fifth goes to Greg Keel, sixth to Cole Duncan, seventh Craig Mintz, Brian Sabito, and Brian Smith. A feature winner here this season rounds out the field. So the top 4 moving into the 9A main, finishing in that final transfer spot. Matt Linder in car 1XL. Third goes to the 12 of Caleb Griffith, second to the W20 of Greg Wilson, and put your hands together, the winner of your Tin Lizzie Collision Heat Race number 4 out of Pittsboro, Indiana, the Hurricane, Randy Hannigan. Byron Reed, Tim Schaefer gonna pace him. Travis Philo, Craig Keel in row number 2. Some feature winners here in this B main. Tim Schaefer in the 83's got a win, as does the 2+ of Brian Smith. Here we go on to turn number 4, green out. Good racing action back in the back, but Tim Schaefer pulls away out from Byron Reed second. Greg Keel third, Mark Keegan in that final transfer spot. Travis Philo, Cole Duncan, Evan Lee. Here comes the 16 of Brian Sabito. What a move in turns 3 and 4. Tim Schaefer pulls away from Byron Reed. Greg Keel third, fourth to Mark Keegan. The battle for fifth. Travis Philo, Cole Duncan, and Kevin Lee. Brian Sabito up against the cushion in the 16 car. He's on the move. Brian Sabito started back in the 16th position, or check that 14th position. Tim Schaefer. Look out, we got cars upside down. Scott Curran and Bruce Robin all get together. Scott Curran upside down in turn 1. Four laps in, 6 to go in your B main. Lights out on the speedway, single file restart here. 6 laps to go in your B main. Tim Schaefer, 5 laps to go, check that.
Tim Schaefer, your leader. Byron Reed second. Craig Keel third. Mark Keegan the fourth and final transfer spot. Keep an eye on the 16 of Brian Speedo from 14 up to 6 as the green comes back out. Mark Keegan going to take a run to the inside of Craig Keel. On his inside, he's got Cole Duncan. Here comes Brian Speedo into the fifth spot. He's going to look for fourth. He goes high in 1 and 2. Brian Speedo on the move. Out front, Tim Schaefer pulls away from Byron Reed. Look at this battle for the fourth spot. Mark Keegan, Brian Speedo. The final transfer spot. There goes Brian Speedo to the outside of Mark Keegan. Keegan fights back to the inside. Here comes Craig Mintz on the move. Turn 4 for Tim Schaefer. Slides out for Mark Keegan. He wants that final transfer spot. Down the back stretch they fly. Tim Schaefer out of turn 4, checkered flag. Byron Reed will come home second. Look at this, 3 wide for the third spot. To Craig Keel, the final transfer to Mark Keegan. 5th, the Brian Speedo, 6th, Cole Duncan, Craig Mintz, Travis Philo, Kevin Lee, Andy Shambo, Brian Smith, Ben Rutan, Dean Jacobs, Dwayne Zablocki, Mitch Harbaugh, Chad Gullett, and Bruce round out the field. Your top 4, boy, was it exciting. Moving into tonight's A main event, Mark Keegan in Car X, by virtue of his 4th place run, 3rd goes to the 20X of Craig Keel, 2nd. To the 5R of Byron Reed, and put your hands together for the winner of your computer man B-Main out of Aliquippa, Pennsylvania, the Steel City Outlaw, Tim Schaefer. Brooke Tatnell, Mike Linder gonna pace them. They're gonna get the one to go signal. Come on, race fans, wave your hats, wave your t-shirts, wave your hands. Let them hear it. 20 cars and stars on custom chrome plating night. Let them hear it at Attica Raceway Park. Here they come out of turn number 4. Green out. Brooke Tatnell grabs the lead with Mike Linder right on his rear bumper. Caleb Griffith up to the 3rd spot. Mike Linder to the outside of Brooke Tatnell for the lead. They almost got. Brooke Tatnell, Mike Linder, Caleb Griffith, Greg Wilson, Phil Gressman, Brandon Wimmer, here we go. Brooke Tatnell leads them to lap number 3. Wilson now up to the 3rd spot. Caleb Griffin trying to hold off Phil Gressman for 4th. Jody Keegan hitting the wall here on the front stretch, and the yellow comes out. Jody Keegan making hard contact with the front stretch wall, something breaking on the 60 to bring out the first caution with 4 laps in the books. 4 laps in, 26 to go. Will be docked 2 positions at the first yellow flag or the end of the race, whichever comes first. Here we go, Mike Linder goes up top. Brooke Tatnell on the bottom gets a great start. Here comes Greg Wilson to the inside of Mike Linder for 2nd. Can't make it stick. Brooke Tatnell out front. bring out the yellow. Brandon Martin off the racetrack in turn 2. 5 laps now in the books. Keep an eye on the 83 car on the move. Here we go. Green out. Brooke Tatnell sets sail again. The battle is for the 4 spot. Oh, David Harrison loops it off the backstretch. Yellow flag. Bleeder valve bleeds off some of that excess air pressure to keep the tires in circumference. Here we go. Lap number 6, Brooke Tatnell. Mike Linder getting the pressure from Greg Wilson. Greg Wilson up to the 2nd spot. Greg Wilson moves in the 2nd. Caleb Griffin tries for the 3rd position. 8 laps in the books. Caleb Griffin takes the 3rd spot. Oh, look out down the front stretch, Byron Reed. Byron Reed upside down on the front stretch. Byron Reed A-OK here on the front stretch. 8 laps in the books, 22 to go. Great battle for 2nd through about 6th spot. Auto Group pace truck hits the infield, single file restart, 8 laps in the books. Here we go, green out. Chad Kavanaugh to the inside and Caleb Griffith for the 3rd spot. Griffith off on the horse track. Here we go. Caleb Griffin, Chad Kavanaugh, Mike Linder getting together upside down here on the front stretch. And Mark Keegan collected. Chad Kavanaugh and Caleb Griffith getting together here on the front stretch. Everybody A-OK. Caleb Griffith out of his car. Single file restart. Brooke Tatnell on the gas. Here we go. Tatnell leads the charge out of turn 2. The battle is for 2nd. Here comes Chad Kavanaugh to the inside of Greg Wilson. Something breaking on the 9X of Phil Gressman as he slides up the racetrack. Phil Gressman had a top 5 run going. Something happening to the 9X as he coasts down the backstretch. The books, Brooke Tatnell. The battle is for 2nd. Greg Wilson and Chad Kavanaugh. Here we go. Wilson tried the slide job in 2, but Brooke Tatnell says no way and takes the lead back. Here comes Chad Kavanaugh on the bottom for 2nd.
second look at this. Greg Wilson, Chad Kavanaugh, now Randy Hennigan. Slide job in turn 4. Chad Kavanaugh into the second spot. Cross flags, 15 in, 15 to go. Chad Kavanaugh moves to the inside of Brooke Tatnell. Tatnell better in 1 and 2. Kavanaugh better in 3 and 4. Here we go. Matt Linder loops it out in turns 3 and 4 to bring out the caution. Brooke Tatnell leads them off turn 4. Green out. Chad Kavanaugh to the inside, tries a slide job in 2. It doesn't work. Kavanaugh to the inside of Brooke Tatnell for the lead. Hannigan tries the slide job for 3rd. He'll take it in turn 2. Here comes Kavanaugh to the inside once again on Brooke Tatnell. Kavanaugh to the inside of Tatnell again. Back a little bit, maybe saving those tires for a last run. 10 laps to go. Brooke Tatnell. Tatnell pulling away from Chad Kavanaugh. To go for Brooke Tatnell. Battle is for 3rd, Randy Hennigan and Greg Wilson. Laps to go. Mike Kemper spins right in front of your leader. 5 laps to go. Waging that battle for 3rd, Randy Hennigan and Greg Wilson. Greg Wilson back into 3rd. Here he is. Brooke Tatnell, 3 laps to go. To go for Brooke Tatnell. He'll see the white flag in the air out of turn 4. Brooke Tatnell. Through turns 3 and 4, he'll see the checkered flag. Brooke Tatnell.
second, Greg Wilson third, fourth to Randy Hennigan, fifth to Tim Schaefer, sixth to Lee Jacobs, seventh to Brandon Martin, eighth gonna go to Craig Keel, ninth to Chris Andrews, 10th to David Harrison. Congratulations, young man. Well, I talked to you prior to the racing, and I said, what are you doing here at Attica Raceway Park? And he said, well, you're not a real good friend of our government right now, and I told you I don't think a lot of people in the United States are friends with our government. It pays off, though. Here you are in victory lane at Attica Raceway Park.
Yeah, we missed our connecting flight getting back across. That's why we ended up at Delaware on basically for Tuesday night with the Outlaws, and then sitting there looking at the rain. It wasn't real flush for last night. It rained out, and I'm thinking, oh, if I've made the wrong call, the boss isn't going to be happy. So we came here tonight. I mean, you know, a lot of guys sit here and say, you know, you just want a local show. But I'll tell you one thing, these locals, you look at the caliber of races to Chad, Greg, and look at Mark Egan's record here. You know, there's a lot of tough guys here, and I wouldn't hesitate to say there's 30 outlaw feature race wins in this pit. So we came here, it gives us a little bit of a run. It's a different car than we ran here last time. We're trying to get some stuff organised for when we come back here in a couple of weeks with the Outlaws.
You had Chad Kimenall racing you hard there, a couple of them restart. You had to wonder with all those yellow flags if this thing was ever going to get over. But then all of a sudden it seemed like you found a rhythm and you pulled away.
Yeah, I'm really having a tough time seeing down the back straightaway with all the dust. And, sometimes when you have that and you lead and you to get a little bit cautious. When you're running second and third, you say, well, if I screw up trying to get the lead, your boss, he only gives you a half-sweep kick up the bum instead of a full one. So, once Chad showed his nose there, and we were debating on whether we needed to start checking out the bottom, but we just had to stand on it and sit up in the seat a little bit more and do the job that we're paid for.
All right, race fans, let him hear it on Custom Chrome Play Night, Brooke Tatnell.